Natalia, and I would like to talk with you. I would like to share with you something that's really important to me. And as I say on my channel, perhaps what I express from my own experience will help you. Okay, loves, I'm talking about on this video true confidentiality. It's very important to me. Confidentiality to me is trust, you know? And this is me talking about sharing with another something that I'm gonna say or express or feel or talk about, and knowing through our relationship, through communication, through experience, that this is the kind of person that I can trust. That's not going to say anything. That's not going to just tell anyone or someone, or tell someone and tell them to not tell anyone. So when it comes to true confidentiality, you're either in or you're out. You're either trustworthy or not. You either find it very natural to be trusted and to hold what another shares with you, or it's easy to just spill the beans. I personally feel that the basis of true confidentiality is that you just do not share what another person expresses to you with anyone, ever. You never share another person's business that's been told or confided to you, because guess what? They're coming to you for a reason. They're coming to you because they want to express themselves. They want to share their innermost heart or feelings or a pain or an issue of some sort. And they're really trusting in you to listen to them. Not only that, if they're going to share this with you, it's because they feel safe. And not just safe to share it, but safe to share it and you keep it right there and no further. Because if you were to open up that window or that door with another, then that's breaking the confidentiality, therefore breaking the trust, and then the other person's not going to feel safe with you and not going to trust you. If a person is going to share what is dear to them and true to their heart with you, then they have thought long and hard, felt very deeply, know themselves so well, where they stand with themselves, their situation and their choice and their thoughts and their feelings, to even make such a request of you. This person who is asking for you to honor their privacy, they know what they're doing. They know where they're coming from. They know what decision they made. It's not up to another person to decide what to do with what that person shared. They make a special request. If you're trustworthy, you fulfill it. If you're not trustworthy and you don't fulfill it, they're not going to trust you. And they're just going to have to find someone to trust, you know? How do you know when you trust someone? Trust your intuition. You can also look for signs, because, in my experience, I personally would only share something with someone if they value privacy, confidentiality, as much as I do. Or in a same high quality standard, because it's trust. It's the foundation of a relationship. And if you don't have trust, you can't trust another person, then the relationship isn't safe. Therefore, you don't really have a relationship. Okay? Because this is really important to me. Whether you're sensitive or not, whether you feel vulnerable or not, this matters, because it's trust. And if somebody says something to you and it just sends off that signal, oh, this person doesn't value privacy, they're talking about another person's business, they're talking without regard for another person's feelings about something that's really, really personal, or they somehow say casually in the conversation, like, you know, that they think it's alright to share other people's business with or without their regard, you know? There are definitely signs to look for when a person doesn't value privacy the way you might. If you do. I do. Hence why I'm making this video. Do you have loved ones in your life that you can confide in? Sometimes you just need a sound board, someone to just listen to you while you express everything. You're very blessed if you have such support, you know? You really, really are. Because when you feel safe enough to share who you are or where you're coming from with another, it's so healthy. It just feels really good. And who doesn't want to feel good? You know? Trust is the foundation of a true and healthy relationship. And if you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship. And with that, on the opposite side of the spectrum, a person who doesn't value privacy or confidentiality, here are some examples, okay, that I've come up with personally. Okay, A, they don't care. They just don't care about privacy. They don't care about a person's feelings. They just don't care. B, they're passive. C, they may not know the quality of a true friendship or a true relationship, qualities like trust. D, if they don't respect themselves, if they don't respect their private life, they don't respect the details of their life, then they're not going to certainly respect yours because they don't know how that feels firsthand from firsthand experience. E, lacks in personal values of integrity. F is emotionally or mentally immature. G, there hasn't been absolute clarity on what confidentiality looks like in the relationship. You can say to someone, hey, I would like for you to keep this private. I would like for you to keep this confidential. Don't say anything to anyone and don't say anything to specifically so-and-so. And they don't know what that looks like. They don't know, even though they may hear it as a literal translation, they may not know what that actually is like for you because they live differently. And so you have to say to them, okay, what does that look like? True confidentiality and privacy looks like you don't say one word about anything I shared to anyone or to so-and-so. And that means everything to me. And if you don't do that, I'm not going to trust you and I'm not going to confide in you and I'm not going to be close with you. And somehow it's got to register. It has to register with them so they can understand where you're coming from and honor you. H. And I've seen this happen innocently and innocently. If a person's just a well-meaning gossip, meaning they just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about everything and them and you and this and that, and talk and talk and talk, and they just ramble. And in that kind of a case, you know, that's definitely a person who doesn't value privacy or confidentiality. So those are some of the qualities of people who are not privacy confidant worthy. You know, I've also heard this phrase, when you share something with someone else, it is no longer yours. If you do share something with someone else, it is still yours because it's still your experience. You know, and you can still function on your own terms with your experience and with what you shared. You know, and just because another person knows doesn't mean that you can't be honored. When I've heard people say, once you share something with someone else, it's no longer yours, the thought that comes to my mind is, or the feelings that I feel are, so now what? People are just gonna say anything they want to anybody they want about something that's precious to you? What about trust? What about privacy? What about integrity? What about ethics? What about caring for another person's feelings? You don't just take what a person says to you and just do whatever you want with it. There's a thing called respect as well. So I personally don't believe in that theory of whenever you share something with someone else, it's no longer yours. I know what they're saying. Once you withhold it from your own personal being, you share it with another, it's not yours anymore. But I still believe it's yours because it's still your experience and you can still work from your own terms on it. You can still have it be on your own terms. And just because you share it with another doesn't mean that another person has to disrespect you and blabber about it. Okay? Alright. I encourage you to count the people in your life that you can trust, that you do trust. The people who show up for you naturally. The people who have held your privacy, who have held your confidentiality, the people that you feel safe with. Count those confidants in your life and be very grateful for them because when you find them, it is such a blessing. Do you know how amazing it is to be yourself or to express something so dear to your heart or express a fear or work through a process or rant and to feel safe with someone, and to know that it stays here, and that it's not just an open window, open door. A person's going to take it into their own mind as to how they're going to treat it and express it, or what they're going to do with it, and just, share it with whomever. No. Do you know how amazing it is to share yourself with someone else, and to feel safe, and to feel safe, and to feel safe? Because they really do understand where you're coming from, and therefore they respect that in you. Your personal life and your personal business is precious, is sacred. It matters. It is not frivolous to just be discarded and treated in any type of way. Okay, here we go. Your personal life really, truly matters. And it is valuable. And when you share it with another, this is you saying, this is how I choose to share the energy of my life. And if I share it with another who is of high value and integrity, then I am choosing to share my valuable energy in a valuable way with another person who regards it in a healthy, valuable way. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is the thing. Your personal life is beautiful, it does matter, and it does deserve to be treated with respect. And when you share it with another, that's you saying, this is how I choose to share my energy. So choose wisely, choose the best, choose those that will respect and honor you, Another point I'd like to make. True confidentiality is a place of sacredness where you are heard, felt, respected, and loved. And that is true love. Another thing that comes up for me is when another person may approach you or me and say, hey, what about this person and their life and their experience, and no, and you know that that person wants their privacy honored. A lot of people just buckle down and do this socially acceptable thing of being non-confrontational and just blah, 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 spilling the beans and just being a parrot and just repeating everything that they heard to this person. You can do the non-socially acceptable thing, which is really, really powerful and strong, and just be like, just express no comment. Or you could just be like, I don't know. You could also say, why are you asking me about this other person and their personal business? Why don't you ask them? You could also say, why are you asking me about this person's private life and details? That's very personal. Why do you want to know? You can really stand up for another person, and that is so amazing. Do you know how good it feels to be stood up for if someone just does that for you? So, I have expressed myself about True Confidentiality. This is a revised video from one that I made 2 years ago. I really hope it helps you, because this really matters. And here we go. Love you. Thanks for watching.